Okay, so we're going to install some wonderful tubeless sealant. We may even need to refill from the tubeless big bag using the amazing tube that comes in your pack. And we're going to put it in these amazing 45-40 wheels. These are the gravel wheels. These are possibly, I think, the best gravel wheels you can get. They are 40 wide, which means you can run them aero with a 40 wide tyre or a 38 if you want to be a real purist, without a massive kind of mushroom effect and still get the aero benefits that you may need. And it's 30 internal, which gives an amazing profile. You can even run a 35 on this. It will probably stretch out to 38. I have the tool from one of my multi-tools. Let's take the valve out. Just make sure that the valve is in there as we like it. I would normally be putting the wonderful tubeless gold valves in, but I already had found a use, as you'll see from a video I'll try and link here, for these bought a long time ago Silka ones, so I'm just going to keep those in there. Do make sure when you loosen the valve core that you don't loosen the valve. And the way this works is that this goes perfectly over here like that, and this goes perfectly into there. The first thing you always need to do with every sealant, including mine, is give it a bit of a shake. And what you need to look for is to see if any of the particles have settled. And so basically a quick and easy sort of way how this works is it's basically an emulsion. The emulsion has little bits of, any sealant has little bits in. Some people use glitter, some people use vulcanized bits of broken rubber. We use a completely different formula to what I think pretty much anyone else does in the market, based on a lot of research and development over 20 years and a bit of knowledge from my father, who's a civil and structural engineer. But without giving too much away, it's a great formula, but like every formula, you need to make sure that it is shaken well. And one of the things you see on a lot of the forums is the problem of clogging. And where clogging comes around is if this is not mixed properly. Now, ours has a much better chance of not clogging because A, the particles are not prone to clogging. The latex formula that we used is not prone to clogging, and we started using these. One of the biggest problems with clogging is the kind of the spout valve that a lot of people use. So we've used this method to enable it to work a little better. Coming back to the formula, so essentially if you imagine it, it is a bit like a vinaigrette in terms of the latex is an emulsion. So you've got the oil and the vinegar, and you need to give them a good shake to make sure that they're properly emulsified. So I hope that part is clear. I imagine it's got chili flakes in. Let's go with this, okay? Bear with me a second. So essentially a tubeless sealant is basically like a oil and vinaigrette with chili flakes in. And what you need is the chili flakes to be properly distributed. So that's why you need the shake. And when things clog, basically what usually has happened is either all the chili flakes are at the bottom. The other thing is applying too much pressure with any sealant. If you apply too much pressure, of course, you are essentially making the sealant work like a sealant, right? The way the sealant works is that those chili flakes with the emulsion, under pressure through a small hole, clog. So you're trying to avoid that situation, and you just see people giving it a good squirt, getting really angry with it, squirting it even harder. Sounds wrong, but yeah, it is wrong. So yeah, you need to make sure the chili flakes and the emulsion are perfectly emulsified, and bear in mind that just needs constantly doing. So don't just do it for the first set of wheels. And so what happens most of the time when sealant fails, the biggest failures are, for example, you see white liquid going everywhere. That's usually because there are no chili flakes, or there's no aggregate in there to help it coagulate, because they're all either at the bottom of the pack, stuck around the valve hole, or they went into someone else's. That quite often happens when you get to set it up. They get these massive 1 litre bottles, and of course if it's not properly distributed, bicycle A gets 90% of the aggregates or the chili flakes, and by the time you're at the end, or it could be the other way around, right? Someone in the middle gets all the chili flakes. It's always good, I think, to install this yourself. If you're a perfectionist, make sure you give it a good shake, and make sure that you obviously do that between applications as well. Right, so the best way to do this is to grasp this. Okay, let's turn it around this way. If we turn it this way, you'll get it. We want about half of it to go in, and then we stop it like that. This is the rear wheels, and just over half of that has gone in. Don't know if you can see that from the levelometer. You can. One of the benefits of a clear package as well. And so we're good to go. We're now going to go and put the rest of it on the other wheel. As you can see, turn it around like that, put it aside. It's not going to dry because it's a perfect seal. You can go and get your other wheel, do what you want to do. Nice. That is how easy putting tubeless sealant in should be when you've got 2 decades of experience and design a way to do it that way. And I'm going to show you a bit later, even getting it between your refill and the other one uses exactly the same method. Toit. Nice.